God, finally, back from the dead. Folks, I have rarely been so intrinsically possessed and affected by whatever the hell is out there. But as I have said repeatedly, do not get it, whatever the hell it is. And there's lots of ugly little micro orgasms and diseases and viruses out there. Okay. So I'm not 100%, but I'm back. I feel better. Not great, but enough to do and give you why you come here. I'm sorry that well, why am I apologizing? I felt like shit. I had a relapse of whatever the hell is out there, and there's lots. So I'm not going to apologize on that sense. I'm going to apologize that I have been away for more than a week, just about a week. And the voice is not 100%, but I have too much to say, and I'm feeling better. And rather than bore you with my own personal situations and all that, I'm going to go straight to the headlines. First off, Greg Papa is the play-by-play voice for the 49ers, used to do the Warriors, does a talk show on KNBR from 10 to 2 weekdays. And I've criticized Greg Papa. I've been very public about my criticism. I've not hid behind a computer and ripped people like Papa. And today I was hearing that he is about to get an award from the very prestigious Syracuse radio station, which he is an alum. And I sent Papa a congratulatory text. I also said, I don't admire you, but I respect you. And I was about as open as possible. Doesn't mean it's anything beyond that, but he chose to take a different route. I'll leave it at that. Look, Greg Papa knows his craft. He has all the fundamentals, the mechanisms to be a great play-by-play guy. As I have said repeatedly, I'm not fond of screaming and yelling and theatrics and fake football touchdown calls. I've also speculated as to why Papa cannot have a simple conversation on his talk show on KNBR from 10 to 2. He talks in codes. He goes off on very fragmented, weird, frankly, out of blue analogies. Everybody's got a nickname. Nobody can be referred to as their regular name. He talks in code. It is bizarre. It is at times appears to be rather patronizing when he speaks to somebody like a Susan Slusser and calls her Suze. When he talks about athletes and constantly refers to them in coded names and gimmicks. It's pretentious. It's frankly confusing, and I'm worried about him. So congrats, Mr. Papa, on your award. But you've fallen out of favor. You've become irksome and cumbersome. It's bizarre. So that's that. ABC7, Channel 7 KGO TV, owned by the lovely hypocritical assholes known as Disney. Today I want to call out Dan Ashley and Julian Glover. Fake. Seems to be part of our lexicon these days. Fake news. Fake. Well, these aren't fake newsers. They're just fake people. Ashley is not whom I thought he was. Julian Glover is the house snitch. There are people out there, especially at Channel 7, who should know better. I've said in the past, they're zombies. They don't exude what they should say. And they're a bunch of fucking assholes. and I will call them out. I don't care what their title is. I don't care who they are. I don't care the length of time that they've spent at a particular station. KGO TV used to be one of the best in the country. And now it's a shameless, pathetic, outlandish, fucking bunch of assholes. Quote me. Property of the Disney fake layover, the PC crowd, the Mouse Mafia, as I referred to them. Ashley is a fake, along with Larry Beale and Amadeus and the House Snitch, Julian Glover. But there's a lot more. Don't look at these people and take in their fake smiles with any kind of conviction, because they have no conviction. They're just talking heads, zombies, as I call them. All right, let's go over to KCBS. Apparently, they got a new overnight crew, new traffic guy. They continue the whack-a-mole anchor policy. Funny it was not so funny for KCBS. In the afternoon, they got a guy who really doesn't want to anchor, but he's there. Guy by the name of Steve Scott. Then they have a woman who's been there a while who has said to friends and colleagues in the past that she didn't want to anchor. Now she's been left in the lurch. A woman by the name of Megan Goldsby. Not a big fan of hers. But I guess now she had a change of heart. In any event, they still have misplaced anchors all over time slots. They've got a woman in the middle of the night, the so-called overnight, who literally whispers into the microphone. She talks very quietly. Then she shouts, which, by the way, you could say is a constant of the KCBS reporter roster. They shout. They're young. They don't know the market. They're a bunch of fucking incompetent idiots. I hate to use pejoratives like that, but folks, I'm being kind. They don't know how to run a radio station. It's pathetic. And speaking of pathetic, and speaking of Greg Papa, we go to KNBR. They have all these little kids, literally kids, on the air, fanboys. Why are they on the air? Because they're cheap. Why are they using father and son tandems? Because it's called nepotism. They don't have to pay anything. And believe me, they're losing their primary broadcast, finally, Legion at KNBR at 755 Battery. They're moving to lovely Daly City at the end of the month, the end of May, because they have no money. They have no ratings. They have a shill in the morning, a Brian Murphy, who he's cutting his toenails with certain clippers, who does ads for Nowhere in California developments with houses in the middle of nowhere and timber tack deck direct fake deck enhancements and cheap tea and shitty pizza and ads for Larry Bear so he could suck off Larry Bear. Brian Murphy is a shill. He's an ass kisser for Larry Bear and all the corporate assholes that live and like to hire snitches, speaking of snitches, in the Bay Area. But that's not the only thing that's wrong with KNBR. They are fake. They are insincere. They are assholes. They don't know how to convey. It's a fake, entirely fake, incomprehensibly incompetent operation. They have the Giants, but the Giants haven't given them the needed bump because baseball is boring and old. And football is not here for a good 3 months. So it's fake, it's boring, And KNBR, again, is falling and falling deeper into the abyss. One final thing. I had a relapse. Unlike others, I don't want to go back on the air and talk about my illnesses. I did briefly because many of you have asked me what's going on. Those of you that have asked me what's going on are criticizing me because I didn't have the balls to come back on and give you more time to adjust. Do me a favor. I live and die by your contributions. It's as simple as that. So if you want to see this, if you want more inside stuff, if you want my commentary, if you want my unfiltered opinions, then please, you're going to have to make a donation of any amount on my PayPal. That's how it gets to me, which, oh, by the way, allows me to pay bills and to do the things necessary to give you the coverage, the opinion, and yes, the occasional scoops that I give you about various media, local, national, even international. So thanks for watching. I hope to be back later in the day, if not, certainly on Friday. Please contribute to my cause. Click on my PayPal. Any amount is appreciated.